Hey everybody, it's TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. And this is me, Oberon, with my special segment, Oberon's Outlook on the Emotional Exchanges, which is my weekly tarot forecast by the elemental signs of the Zodiac, kind of giving you the heads up on what the emotional currents or undercurrents, the changes, the ups and downs, the many lives, the many loves that you may encounter in the week ahead. And that week is specifically from today, Friday, February 13th, till next Thursday, which is the 19th. The moon is moving from Libra to Capricorn during those days. So first we start off with our inspirational thought for the week. And I use the Isis Tarot. I'm going to just show that over here. To do that, and we're going to just go ahead and pull a card at random and do that reading. And this is a collective thought for the week for everybody, just somebody's idea of giving a little guidance or something to think about or focus on. So here we go, pulling at random, and I have pulled the Sphinx. Reserved and discreet, intuitive and meditative, waiting in trust, faith, patience and denial. Religion, mysterious, inert, hidden knowledge, initiation, secrets, riddles. A period of mysteries and mystical immersion. All right, so it sounds to me like kind of like a week of we'll be looking at riddles and trying to figure out what is the puzzle. How do we get past that gatekeeper? Isn't it always like that in a way? So, forewarned is forearmed. So let's proceed with our reading then. And we start off with the air signs, which are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And we pull first their word of the week. And this is specific for those signs, the air signs. Kind of like an overriding theme or essence for the week. And once again, just pulling randomly. And that card is speculation. I think this has come up before as a word of the week. But speculation, okay, we're going to just say that this may be a week where we are looking at what's happening and maybe making some guesses or some ideas, informed as they may be, hopefully, as to what the process is, what is going on, that kind of thing. So think about using your powers of intellect or thought to figure out things, air signs. And of course, you are an air sign, so it's really not going to be that hard for you. But apparently this is just saying this week may be a little out of the ordinary for the air signs, suggesting that they really will be called in to work with their powers of speculation. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with our reading now. Move that aside over there. Beautiful sunny day here. It's a little nip in the air, but it's not really bad. It's like low 50s, I think. So it's just a little windy, but we are near Detroit, Michigan on a beautiful fall day. I believe this was my father-in-law, Banshee's birthday. Yes, he was a Scorpio. I never met him. He died a long time ago before I ever met his wonderful daughter. But he was very proud of being a veteran And of course, Thursday was the 11th Veterans Day, and he was a veteran. I shared a little bit about that in a soul story, so it's quite interesting. You should check it out. Alrighty, let's do that reading for signs. What emotional happiness will you find this week? I think your emotional happiness comes with this upright Ace of Swords, which is saying you are happiest when you take charge, when you just kind of lead the way, when you're decisive, when you're working on a specific project that you imagine is going to go well, that you have most of the control or the autonomy or authority to make the decisions you need. So that's what you're looking at, air signs, is maybe you having that free reign to pursue projects or ideas, whether they're at work or whether they're in other parts of your life, and really nobody's standing in your way. You can pretty much wield the sword and go forth. And I don't know about you, but that would certainly make me pretty happy. So I imagine so that this is maybe somewhere in the way of relationships. So maybe that you are making a forge ahead in determining certain things about relationships, your relationship. Perhaps if you are newly in romance, you may be moving ahead to another level with that, because this is really about what brings you an emotional happiness. And I imagine that mostly means with the various ideas of other relationships we interact with, or with coupling in general, with people, dating, that kind of thing. So let's move on. What emotional challenges or surprises will you face this week? And that is a surprise. It's the reversed Eight of Cups. And I don't always see exactly things the way Banshee says, and that's kind of interesting, because if you get a reading from both of us, you get both perspectives, and sometimes we're pretty much in tune and we're not always. So the Eight of Cups reversed, what may be surprising or a challenge is that you might have to pause and really consider where you saw the road going, what you were leaving behind to move towards. And maybe you find that you really still have something there that's kind of holding you there. There's either a responsibility, and because it is a cup, it could be that emotional thing. I mean, this is what we're talking about, the emotional challenges, that if you go a certain way, maybe it's talking about that first card, that decisive take charge, you may have to leave or have a part of other considerations move aside. And so that is what is going to be the challenge, is figuring out if there is a balance thing going on there with how you will have to decide what is allowable to let go or to let go for now as you pursue what that ace over there is talking about. So I think that's kind of what is going on there with that. And then finally, what will concern these other relationships, whether they are the actual romantic ones that might be affected, or just family or friend, co-worker, platonic type relationships that maybe are being impacted by these situations. And it's the Three of Discs, or that is the Three of Pentagrams, and it's reversed. And so maybe people around us that have these kind of relationships with us will feel that we're walking away from something, we're giving up on something, and maybe they're not seeing it exactly the same way. Maybe they're feeling like there was something there you needed to continue to work on to improve yourself. Maybe you're not taking criticism the way it might have been intended. Maybe you're sulking or feeling hurt. This is what is the other people's feelings there. And so once again, it may be one of those things you might have to evaluate per your own feelings, or to listen to what other people are saying there too. But other people are maybe wondering if you are making the wrong choice with all this, if you are in fact deciding to abandon that notion. So that's kind of interesting. It sounds to me like this is a fairly emotional week. And I know that I said Moon was Libra to Capricorn, and I think it's just out of Libra into Scorpio. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of this is because of Scorpio kind of stuff going on. I realize Mercury is direct, Mars is direct, but you know, there's still some lingering effects there in the so-called shadow. So Air signs, take care, watch out for those things. And now we will move on to the fire signs. So this is time for me to put in that plug for Dear Banshees Material Matters, which we know is on every Sunday at 10 a.m. And we sit there and talk about those things that are going on into your material life and how you can use the tarot, or how Banshee uses the tarot to determine where the areas for your success may lie in the week ahead. So that's once again Saturday or Sundays, 10 a.m. Banshee's Material Matters. Alrighty, so now we are moving on to those fire signs. And like Banshee, they are Aries, but also Leo and Sagittarius. And so we're going to put that right there and draw their word of the week. And I think I should have grabbed a cough drop because my whistle's a little wet here. But let's go ahead and do that. Pulled totally at random the word of the week for you fire signs. Here we go. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. And, oh, it's an interesting card. It's a card that I often sometimes have a very clear idea about what this means. It's the Chariot. So to me, the Chariot is about drive, ambition, motivation. And I'm just going to say that because it's there, that's what your word of the week is that you need to consider fire signs. And this should never be hard for a fire sign. I'm sorry if that sounds snarky, but where you are leading the way, fire signs, where you are taking the charge and going ahead, where you are putting your words about ambition right to the road and doing it. Just saying, I said I was going to do it, I'm going to do it. Whether you're slow to start the burn, you are doing it. You are taking the drive and initiative, and it looks, like a very good week then for you in that regard. So let's go ahead to the reading. I hear those lovely lawnmowers. I always try to shoot this a day or so ahead of time and beat them. I thought for sure they were done this season. I also have been told by somebody that I shuffle the cards too loudly on this table here. I should be a little more pianissimo, which is Latin for softly. So I'm going to try to do that, okay? Yes. Okay. Our symbol cut. We are on the way for the fire signs. So we know what our word of the week was. What emotional happiness will fire signs find this week? And we have the Princess of Wands, which is kind of like the Page of Wands, okay? So the Princess of Wands often denotes a message, and the message is usually a friendly message. It's possibly a message you have been thinking about, you've been waiting for, news about things you're involved in, things that are either other friendships or are news about the kind of projects or undertakings you're involved in, mostly on that kind of networking, enterprise edge of life, So I'm thinking that, this is what you're going to find is you're getting good news about something you've been hoping would kind of take off, or you're getting good news about somebody's good luck or a friend or somebody that means something to you, or maybe you're going to communicate back and forth a little bit with that. So then what will challenge or surprise you emotionally? And it's the Prince of Cups, and they're upright. And the Prince of Cups is more of a analog to the Knight of Cups, as the princess is to the page, the princess to the knights, that kind of thing. So this Knight of Cups suggests the coming or going of something that involves your emotions, something usually pleasurable. So a lot of times it may indicate an up or down, but usually this is a good aspect, being upright in your relationship, and that's either your personal, connected relationship. It could also involve relationships with your family or your friends, anything that more or less you would feel brings you a great deal of emotional joy, somebody you're really involved in. So if you're the kind of person that you don't have a direct family relationship, but your brother, your sister, your cousin who just lives a few blocks away means that much to you. This could be about them too. So it could be that you will be finding some challenge or surprise along that way, that maybe the status quo is changing. But mostly it looks like it would be changing in a good way. So I could very well see that perhaps those who in new relationships, maybe it's getting a little deeper, a little bit more heartfelt, more emotional. You know, we're moving to the time of the year, the holidays, where maybe sometimes people do have more emotional response ability. They're able to more respond emotionally to things around them because they're feeling more connected. And, you know, with the world the way it is right now, you know, that's probably a good thing. Just do it safely. If you have to be out there spreading your love, just try to be safe. That's all. So then finally, what will concern our romantic relationships or our other close relationships, whether they're friends, children, co-workers, other family, platonic in general. And what will concern them perhaps is that they are needing that plug-in of hope, you know, that maybe the star reverse is indicating that some of these guys are just feeling very needy in the sense of being able to really feel that maybe some of this last year has really turned the corner and that maybe we're moving on to something better. And this affects any of us throughout the spectrum of any of our sensibilities. So it doesn't matter how religious or non-religious you are, or what kind of religion, or the same for political or national heritage, or all the other relationship kind of quotas based on gender platforms or various other things. It's all about that. This is just saying that so many of us really are feeling the need to be inspired, and I think that's you, the fire sign, are going to feel that, you know, that maybe in a way you stand a little bit apart, and so you're a little bit more responsive to all those around you who are feeling the need for some hope. So I'm going to let that go there, and we're going to move on now to our water signs. Water signs. Cancer. Scorpio and Pisces. This one's for you. We're going to give you the word of the week. Let's see how things are going for you. And we have the Empress. The Empress is the word of the week. And so for water signs, well, that almost seems like, gee, where have you been hiding? But the Empress really is kind of like on some level the ultimate essence of female. Not the essence maybe, but the archetype. The productiveness, the fertility angle, the control angle. The Empress just has such far range potential of uplifting principle. She's different than the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a little bit more remote, a little bit more like, well, when you're ready. The Empress is kind of like the Earth Mother in a way. In some ways, she has a strong relationship, or sort of to me at least, partnership with the Queen of Pentacles, that their qualities are similar, that whole earthy base. But she's more than earthy base. I mean, I think she sort of embodies most of the elements there. So this is just saying that for the water signs, keep in mind all of your abilities to be resonant and effective in the world. I had a serious danger of kind of going on too long there about that, so I'm glad I pulled myself in a little bit. But yes, no matter who you are, water sign, be the empress. What emotional happiness will the water signs find this week? Prince of Cups. You look familiar. You look very familiar. So I think we are happy when we feel that sometimes the emotional currents are going our way, when we find out that things moving into our life or moving along with our life just feel better, feel more pleasing to us, bring us happiness, bring us a sense of opportunities. What challenges we may face are a little different. It's the King of Swords reversed. And what may emotionally challenge us is that maybe we will part some matters, not so much like friendships. I don't think it's a friendship kind of thing, but I think decisions, ideas to be questioned may come up in this week, and that maybe our opinions will really kind of separate us a little bit in a way from what maybe people that are close to those situations will feel. We may be called upon to have a judgment about something, or be a deciding vote, or speak to a decision or a question about something. And we may find that we're challenged by that, but we basically have to be truthful, even if it does seem like it might be harsh. So in all of this, what will concern the romantic relationships, family relationships, other sorts of close relationships the most. And it may be that some people have been thinking that they wanted to reawaken, they wanted to kind of move back into our lives. Maybe there's been some distance, either due to quarantining effects or other things going on, other situations. Maybe some people had taken a time out, and I'm trying to remember last week's reading for water signs, and I don't remember it that well enough to say that people were taking a time out or that we were going to experience that. But this sort of feels like people who may have been taking some sort of relax or an isolation in your life, or a vacation, solitude, away from you or others, may be coming back. And so that's probably a good thing, but you may have to make some accommodations to that. Maybe that's where the tie-in is that some of the challenges you're facing about making certain decisions involves some of these situations resurfacing in your life. So I'm not exactly sure how I see that, but I'm wondering if that is possible. And once again, just being the Knight of Cups over there is suggesting too, though, that this really would please you to resolve some of these kind of situations or questions that may be going on. So it may be that, as the holidays are coming more into focus, that we're looking at those situations and seeing where we want to build some happiness in our lives as we move this year towards the end. So that's what I have for the water signs. I hope that makes sense in a way. And we're going to move on finally to the earth signs. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, of which I have Moon and the rising sign. So you guys are kind of solid, rock steady, all of that kind of stuff. What's going on in your life this week? What will we give you for the word of the week? The idea, motto, mantra, thought that will take you through the week and maybe help you understand things better. And, oh, that's interesting. It's consummation. And consummation is a sense of completion. It's a sense of what was supposed to happen happened, that you were expected to consummate. You were expected to achieve this particular level or this particular understanding or knowledge somehow. And so that's the word you're going to think about this week, earth signs. You're going to think about how you will bring the deal home, how you will close the bargain, how you will make your move and move to home run. Oh my goodness, that was a little bit of an innuendo for me. Anyway, that's our word of the week. And now we're going to go to the rest of the reading. All right. And this card flipped over for me, so I want to use it for my first card. It's what emotional happiness will you find this week? And it's the Hierophant, Major Arcana 5. And so that tells me, and it just leaped out of my hands in a way, the Hierophant is saying that what makes you happy this week is when everything seems to be pretty much regulated, and not so much that it's conforming or conformist, but maybe conventional in the sense that it's traditional and that you expect it to be that way. So nothing highly unusual. You'll feel best when everything kind of works the way it is. And since there is a spiritual connotation of sorts, I'm just going to say that perhaps for the earth signs, you're really starting to get more into the holiday spirit. We will be not quite there, not quite towards the American Thanksgiving by the end of this reading's cast next November, but we'll be close enough. We'll be within a week of that holiday. And you know, if you go around shopping or online or wherever you go, you're bound to see a number of ideas about the holidays. All right, so then what emotional challenges or surprises will you face this week? And it's our friend the Empress, the Major Arcana 3, so you've had two Major Arcanas and important ones. And I think what will surprise or challenge you will be the depth of feeling you're going to have towards really re-engendering a lot of things in your life. Mostly that would relate to the fact that you just want everything that you've been working on and holding back to come alive in your life right now. You're probably going to really enjoy preparing for the holidays. So much, just all the planning and all the production and all the creation involved in that. So I think that's really going to be important to you with that. Okay. And then finally, what will concern all of your relationships, your romantic, platonic, family, friends, co-workers, otherwise. And it's the King of Discs. And they too are upright. I'm going to put you over here. And the King of Discs upright is like the King of Pentacles. And so I'm thinking that people around you will feel like there's been a magnification of resource and economy in their lives. And they will feel like they're more in control, or they're receiving more emphasis economically, materially. Maybe this has to do with asking for loans, getting new jobs, getting promotions, making business deals that are working out. But everything is just going to be clicking on that level for all of our relationships, to the point where maybe they're going to just feel like, things are almost back to normal. And it mostly will be because of this economic angle. Will make them feel like they can spend their money, or they can feel secure emotionally with you if you're their primary relationship, or with you if there's somebody that really matters to you, maybe your children or somebody else, another sibling or whoever. But people are just going to feel like this magnification materially makes you feel really good inside too. It makes you feel like you're secure, and it's just emotionally pleasing too, I think. So that's what I think we have for the earth signs, and I hope that worked out. Remember to check in next week and see me, and that's going to be, let's see, the 20th. That's right, the 20th. So next Friday, the 20th. And until then, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.